Good morning, everybody. It's your boy TB. We are going to start out with a just small recap of the Missouri-Georgia game. All right. First things first. Georgia gets out of this with a 30-21 win, which I was super, super excited to see, of course. I'm a Dawgs fan. But from just seeing the way that Missouri plays, and I guess getting to see it, because you've seen highlights or you watch film. I watch a lot of film of Missouri, or I watch a lot of film of every team we're going to play before we play them, just to kind of get a look at them. Missouri's a good team. Very, very good. I know I've already said this before, but they're a very good team. The biggest thing that I saw out of this game is their coach, which other coaches, especially Lane Kiffin, who are going to play, they will dial up plays to beat you. They're not like these other teams that just come in and go, well, we're playing against Georgia. Let's hope we play well. No, these teams aren't hoping for anything. They're planning to beat you. And one of the biggest things I saw before we get into stats, I thought it was an amazing, amazing coaching moment. Watching Missouri's coach tell his quarterback, hey, they're going to leave a quarterback spy on you. And when they do, I want you to roll out, okay? And I'm not saying I know he said this, but I'll say that you saw it. When he would roll out, if it wasn't there, he would continue running because he knew he could beat our quarterback spy, which was Dumas Johnson. But then when Dumas covered the running back, when they would send the running back out on a route and Dumas would cover him, you saw it twice. Cook took off running. Like, you could tell that was in their play of like, hey, we're running this play, but if you see that, I want you to take off running. That, like, I thought that was genius. And then Kirby counters that with his chest move and says, look, Dumas, you're going to cover the running back. Malachi, who was our safety, played a little bit of star, decides he decides that that's going to be our quarterback spy. So then you saw one play, if it was towards I think it was the second half, Cook drops back, boom, sees Dumas take off. He runs both of the linemen, I think it was the center and guard, whichever side, take off to go block. And here comes Malachi Starks breaking down. Cook froze. We end up getting them for like a 1 yard gain or possibly a no yard gain. But it was that fact of, I love seeing coaches in chess matches. That's the thing that excites me about sports in general. People think, oh, it's just, hey, so-and-so had 150 yards rushing. Like, man, good job, bro. Like, you won us the game. But I love the chess match that opens that stuff up, or how you dial up plays to hit that. With that being said, we'll go real quick over the stats. You had Cook with 212 yards. He had 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. He threw 48%, guys, which isn't the greatest, but we've seen that a lot against Georgia is either you have high completion percentage, low number of yards, or you got to risk it. And he let alone, he risked it. One of his interceptions was to a D tackle, which it got tipped. I know it did, but got tipped. We had Zaire Stackhouse end up taking it for however many yards, gets it down to, I want to say, the 10-yard line. And they call a freaking crackback block behind the 50. So from where the crackback block was, it took it 15 yards back. It was crazy. Anyways, he got the interception. Another one's from Javon Bullard, where the quarterback was trying to overthrow it to kind of throw it out of bounds. Ends up leaving it inbounds. Javon picks it off. Great play by him. Their running back, 4 years at a D2 college. He transfers to Mizzou and is going off. He's like third in rushing right now in the SEC, and all props to him. Like, that is transfer portal worthy. That is awesome for him. He had 122 or 112 yards against Georgia's defense. It's pretty good on 22 carries and a touchdown. Luther Burden, we were able to shut him down. He had a touchdown, but he had 3 catches for 53 yards. Like, to dial that up and go, hey, somebody else is going to have to beat us. Now, I want to say it was their freshman or redshirt freshman, Theo Wees, 5 catches, 90 yards. Not bad. Not bad for a young player, inexperienced, to come in, step up when he needed to. They have a very good team. But our boy Beck threw 66%, which is not great, but nice for Beck in a tough game like this to be able to pull it out. He threw for 254 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. And then you had Edwards and Milton. Great games from them, over 100-yard rushing combined. Lad McConkey, shout out to you, bud. Man had 95 yards receiving on 7 catches. But all I'll say about the Missouri game, we'll put it to bed, and then we'll get to the Ole Miss-Georgia game. Mike Bobo, if you thought that you didn't piss me off before, this was the game. This was the game where you pissed me off. And when I mean pissed me off, 2 times that you threw those little swing screen routes, Marcus Rosemy-Jacksaint ended up with whatever concussion protocol, that he was in concussion protocol because of one. And then Ladd McConkey had to hit a spin move, backflip cartwheel to get out of the other one. He ends up breaking away for 12, 13 yards to get the first down. This whole after every big play, running it up the middle for 1 freaking yard, that pisses me off, okay? Next, when you call a timeout to get the ball back with time on the clock at the end of the second quarter and you run a run play and you follow it up with another run play, my dude, what? You know how in therapy they say, hey, like the new you, new year, new you. Like, hey, you gotta focus on the new you. Bobo, I swear, if you go back to the old you, yeah, because you're already showing those little outbursts of it. If you go back to third and Bobo, where you start running them draw plays on third down, I will drive my happy tail to Athens and I will follow you around and just hold up signs that say third and Bobo. I guess that's harassment. I don't know what it is. But, dude, you got to get it together, bro. You've looked really good. And then all of a sudden we play a game like this, and it's like you're trying to outsmart the other team. You're overdoing it. And we saw that, and we struggled in that area. But guess what? When you weren't running it up the middle, and you decided, hey, let's do a run play that's not up the middle. Kendall Milton takes it for a touchdown. Like, I don't get it. When teams are crashing in and they're stopping the middle, you don't have to run it there. You don't. That 1 yard does nothing for us. It's okay to get 4 or 5 yards on a run play. Anyways, shut up. That's it. All right. Ole Miss versus Georgia. Let's move on. Ole Miss versus Georgia. Ole Miss versus Georgia is going to be a great, great game. Ole Miss versus Georgia is going to be a great, great game. You got two heavyweights coming in to fight it out. Ole Miss's only loss is to Alabama. They beat LSU, and the score was nice, 55-49. Looked great. By the way, this is college game day, right? This is where game day is being held at. In Athens, Ole Miss at Athens. It's a top 10 matchup. Whether you believe AP poll or you believe college football playoff poll, whatever you believe in, it's top 10 matchup. And it's college game day. It's great, great, great thing. This man Jackson Dart is coming off throwing 387 yards against Texas A&M. Right now, he's averaging 274 yards a game, which isn't terrible, especially knowing how balanced Ole Miss is. They also have Lane Kiffin as their coach. And that man can dial up plays, especially for whoever he's going against. He's very schematic, and we know that from all the teams that he's coached at or coaches that he's coached under. We've seen it. They come in with their leading rusher who has almost 800 yards rushing. He's got 793 yards rushing. And then Jackson Dart, who also follows that up with 334 yards rushing. We just played a quarterback that can run and pass this past week. We're about to play another one. And my brother actually told me last week's game against Missouri set us up to prepare for games like Ole Miss. Set us up to prepare for games like Tennessee. Set us up to prepare for games like Georgia Tech, Bama. A lot of these teams that have these quarterbacks that are producing in their run game, which is awesome. It's great to know. Great to see for us. Beck comes in averaging 300 yards a game. That man has been lights out. Lights out. He's been great. His percentage is one of the best in the SEC right now, if not best in the nation. And then you've also got him as being, I want to say fourth in the nation, fifth in the nation on passing yards. Like, lights out. Edwards comes in with 633 rushing yards on the year. And these last couple of games, we've seen the best of Edwards. Maybe not the best to come, but we've seen the best that we have seen out of him in a while. Looks good to have healthy running backs. My opinion, this game is going to come down to our secondary against their wide receivers. They have 3 receivers that are over 600 yards receiving, which is crazy. And I know, like, we're at Georgia, like I said, we throw the ball a lot. We do. We don't have 3 receivers over 600 yards. They utilize their players Well, our secondary, who I have said is the best secondary in the nation, they're about to get tested this week. They are. They're about to get tested on the main stage. You're about to get tested on game day, and I have all belief in them. Julian Humphrey, Dalen Everett, you got Malachi Starks, Kamari Lassiter, Taki Smith, Javon Bullard, you got AJ Harris, Nylan Green when they're rotating in. Then you got CJ Allen, the freshman that's going to be starting in place of Dumas Johnson because Dumas Johnson is hurt.